Not sure what that sound is. An earphone? Oh, okay, that's hilarious. Welcome, folks. I'm just getting a couple shares out here, and we're gonna get right into the news tonight. It's been a crazy day. This has taken quite a bit longer than I was hoping. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So it's a lot of news, a lot of stuff's happening, and the market's rebounding a little bit, and it's exciting. But it's been a crazy day, folks. It's been an absolutely crazy day in the markets. Just getting a couple of shares out here to where they need to go. And if you haven't, you got to check out www.quanzilla online and join our Telegram. We got a whole bunch of stuff happening, and it's awesome. Which is where I am dumping video links so our community can join in. All right, fantastic. Let's get right into this.
You are watching Chaos Crypto News, the crypto news that you...
What's cracking, everybody? Chaos Crypto News here. It's a late night episode tonight. I had to go out of town on the weekend and stuff, and yeah, it's just doing some resting and working on some other projects. So here we are tonight, though. We got a lot to go over. First of all, head over to Deck Screener, check out Qzilla, hit that fucking rocket. Let's go. Let's get right into it. We got a lot to talk about. So gold has hit another new all-time high, which is not super surprising, I guess, but Bitcoin carnage is apparently coming with it. Bitcoin disappointed traders after February 19th open as sellers quickly quashed early gains. Unable to shake its low time frame range, Bitcoin maintained what had become a repetitive series of stable trading during Europe and Asia hours, flipping to the downside for the US session. I don't know why, but a little strange. Funny how that works sometimes, Usually I like to start out my episodes with scams, so let's talk a little bit about some crypto scams that are happening right now. So we got UK police charging 2 in connection with a 6-figure crypto scam. It's another pig butchering scam. So British police have arrested and charged 2 men in connection with a crypto scam that resulted in a 75-year-old Aberdeenshire pensioner losing a 6-figure sum. The male victim reported the fraud in July of 2024, leading to an investigation by police in Scotland, and they arrested a 54-year-old man in Coventry and a 36-year-old in Mexborough, with both individuals being charged on the same day. So this is, essentially the scam where they try to develop a relationship with people, then make some excuse why they need to keep extracting money from people, and it's generally targeted at vulnerable people. So it's very common, and they're getting more and more clever because they're going for smaller scams that aren't as easily noticed, rather than the larger volume ones, but they're doing lots more of them now. So more people are at risk, but people are falling for it less and less, as far as some of the articles that we were talking about in one of the last episodes. Now, Abstract releases a post-mortem on Cardex security breach affecting 9,000 wallets. Of course, it's just rampant. Even these institutions, if you will, are not doing their job properly to protect the crypto, and we'll explain why, and it's kind of silly here. This is like amateur stuff. The breach affected approximately 9,000 wallets and led to the theft of around 400,000 in Ethereum. The breach was traced to the exposure of a private key on Cardex's front end, which allowed an attacker to access users' wallets who had approved session keys with the app. Abstract security team SEAL 911 and the Cardex team acted swiftly to neutralize the exploit and prevent further unauthorized access to user funds. The security breach stemmed from a critical flaw in Cardex's session key management system. During the initial audit process required for listing on the portal, the Cardex team inadvertently exposed a private key to their session signer on the front end of the website. This key was embedded within a front-end code, making it easily accessible to anyone who inspected the public source files. The session signer, designed to facilitate seamless interactions between users and CardX's smart contracts, was shared across all users, creating a single point of failure. This meant that anyone with access to the session signer's private key could impersonate any user with an active session. The exploit allowed the attacker to perform various actions including buying, transferring, and selling shares through compromised sessions, ultimately draining users' Ethereum. These transactions were executed without additional user confirmation, leveraging the approved session keys to bypass standard security checks. Kind of ridiculous. I mean, that's pretty basic stuff. Like, it just seems so simple, but then again, I guess these people just aren't thinking outside the box or aren't aware. It's like what we talked about, I think it was last week, how the web browsers within some of the wallet apps are actually super vulnerable to malware and attacks to steal your crypto, which is just ridiculous because, like, come on, folks. Like, it's like, really, like, this is something that everything is all about security. And, people are getting scammed all the damn time. Why wouldn't the wallets implement such a simple feature? But let's move on. So Bitcoin Lightning bug allows remote theft of Bitcoin via LND nodes. So if you're using Bitcoin Lightning, you may have heard of this already. Otherwise, maybe you haven't. But the major bug panicked Bitcoin Lightning users. Senior Bitcoin developer Kali alerted node operators running software older than Lightning Network daemon version 0.18.5 or LITD version 0.14.1. Apparently, clever hackers have figured out a way to manipulate the payment state of such invoices to remotely drain funds. As post gains tens of thousands of impressions, users of the Lightning Network spread the message about the imminent threat of theft. Lightning is a mesh network of approximately 5,000 Bitcoin that move faster and cheaper than regular on-chain Bitcoin. By routing payments through 44,000 public channels connecting over 16,000 nodes, Lightning users sacrifice the full security and decentralization of Bitcoin for speed, thrift, and extra functions. They also apparently expose themselves to Lightning-specific bugs that don't affect the base layer Bitcoin. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know the details of Lightning, and this was such a great paragraph to sum it up to really explain what it does. It's only 5,000 Bitcoin. That's pretty interesting. Anyways, I haven't used it myself, but it's not something that because I don't really have any Bitcoin either myself. It's not really something that is kind of my wheelhouse. But I hope it helps somebody out there because the scams are just out of control. Now, talking about scams, Barstool founder launches and dumps greed meme coin in just 1 hour, and this is so greasy it gets worse. But you know what? Here's the social experiment that I claimed in my title. So, Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy launched a meme coin called Greed today from his official wallet. However, he sold his entire position an hour later, causing the token's value to crash by more than 90%. A social experiment? Well, in a February 19th post on X, the founder criticized the meme coin space, stating, "The entire ecosystem is greed and nothing else. Go dunk on each other, peasants, but don't complain to me if you lose money. You're all greedy. At least admit it." He then launched Greed, presenting it as a social experiment and a reflection of the true nature of the sector. According to blockchain analytics firm Look On Chain, Portnoy issued the token and purchased 357.9 million units, representing almost 36% of the total supply. Its market cap quickly surged to 30 million. Despite initially claiming he would not sell anytime soon, Portnoy offloaded his entire position within an hour in a single transaction, causing Greed's value to plummet by 99% to below 3 million. Ridiculous. Look On Chain reported that he profited approximately $258,000 from the meme coin. Shortly after, Portnoy launched another token, Greed 2. He currently holds 268 million of those, making up almost 27% of the total supply. In a final twist, the media mogul returned to X, stating that he had only promised not to sell one coin, referring to the Solana meme token, Stool Presidente, Jail Stool. He emphasized that he was free to sell everything else, and he had warned people not to buy it. Portnoy first revealed his purchase of over 57 million Jail Stool tokens on February 9th. Shortly after, he sold the entire stack, exchanging it for roughly 586 SOL. However, he quickly bought back even more, spending over 1,000 SOL to acquire just over 23 million coins. Now remember that because I think the math gets a little funny on the next article related to this. Following an initial spike and dip, Jail Stool's market cap surged past 100 million as the entrepreneur fueled its viral appeal. The coin's value more than doubled, reaching an all-time high of nearly 218 million. Currently, the meme crypto is trading at around the 1.5 cent level at 90% one drop in the last 24 hours, and it suffered a more marked loss over the 7 days, shaving a massive 77% of its value. The social media personality's move with greed comes amid a raging scandal in the meme coin space, specifically surrounding Libra token. The asset prompted by the Argentine president, Javier Milei, which we talked about in my last episode there, saw its market cap quickly reach 4.4 billion before plummeting massively. Its collapse fueled reports of insider trading and market manipulation, with some allegedly cashing out over 100 million. Yeah, so Dave Portnoy is also involved in that disaster. We'll get into that a little bit. Got a couple articles related to this. So he's made $258,000 on the Greed meme coin, launches Greed 2. But just a little bit that I wanted to mention here. I guess that was it, just the title here, because there's no new information here. But it's just, I guess I wanted to show a second article. And then here's the hilarious part of this whole wraparound here. So Kraken criticized for Dave Portnoy's sponsorship after token pumps and dumps. Crypto exchange Kraken's under fire for letting controversial Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy shit on its reputation after he launched a number of meme coins that all crashed over 99%. It's like a slap in the face. It's just ridiculous. Users on X claimed Portnoy is taking a giant shit on Kraken's reputation, just like we take a giant shit on Solana and Ethereum. It's just a joke, folks. All jokes. And they're just sitting there doing nothing. NFT trader Tyler did say, how long is Kraken going to keep sponsoring Dave Portnoy while he openly mocks his space on a daily basis? Hey, Kraken FX, curious how long you're going to continue sponsoring Dave Portnoy and his daily pump and dumps. The crypto sleuth Zach XBT also agreed that Portnoy's behavior is not a good look for Kraken. Yeah, I would say. So the SEC commissioner, Hester Pierce, tells the meme coin traders not to expect the government to make them whole. Like, no shit, really? Thanks. I just find this hilarious. But bro crypto trader Hester Pierce is warning meme coin traders that they are on their own when it comes to losses. I mean, yeah, you're on your own when it comes to losses, absolutely. Like, that goes kind of with anything, you know? Like, this is, I don't know. It's just kind of a funny article, I guess. But just because something's out there and is popular does not mean that it will fit within the SEC jurisdiction. Well, hold on a sec. He says, so he cautioned people not to assume there's going to be an SEC regulatory backstop to everything. But yet they've been fucking with XRP in this bullshit court case for how long now? Come on, man, really? But they're not going to, you know, get involved in the meme coin shit, like, you know, to stop, like, obvious scams. Come on. It's the Wild West out here, folks. It's the Wild West. Have your 6-shooter ready. Chainalysis develops system-enabling laws enforcement to trace and seize illicit crypto assets. The blockchain data analysis firm Chainalysis said it has developed an integrated solution designed to help law enforcement track stolen crypto. The new solution is relying on 2 primary tools. The first is the firm's pre-existing blockchain investigation software, Chainalysis Reactor, which aims to help law enforcement officials track crypto across blockchains and identify on and off ramps. The second part of the solution is a new development called Wallet Scan, which is designed to automate the discovery of derivation paths according to Chainalysis. This eliminates the need to manually reconstruct wallets, allowing investigators to focus on recovering assets instead. Chainalysis also recently acquired Altaria, a fraud detection solution powered by artificial intelligence, of course. The AI solution has worked with top crypto and fintech firms like Coinbase, Binance, and Block, and monitors more than $8 billion worth of fiat and crypto transactions per month, according to a recent press release. Altaria also detected more than $10 billion worth of payments sent to scams last year. Total value loss in the digital asset sector due to hacks and scams last year exceeded $3 billion, a 15% increase from 2023. And from one of the articles we were talking about the other day, that could increase, fourfold possibly, I believe was the number, into this year. So it's not good times for scammers. Well, it's good times for scammers. It's not good times for people being scammed. Don't trust, verify, folks. Moving on, President Trump cares more about Wall Street than the Federal Reserve. Now, this sounds really bad right off the top, right? But it actually doesn't sound like all that bad of a thing. I mean, I'm Canadian, right? But the people in the States should be proud that Trump's actually taking control of the country. You know, he's taking care of his people, not pandering to everybody else. But anyways, this actually turns out to something that's going to help people, it sounds like. President Trump is not waiting for the Federal Reserve to fix anything. And they're not actually federal, folks, the Federal Reserve, right? Just because it sounds all federal and stuff. It's like not a government agency. His administration is sidestepping the central bank and focusing directly on Wall Street's bond market, betting that controlling the 10-year Treasury yield will be more effective than cutting short-term investment rates, or interest rates, I should say. One way to tell whether markets think, are we actually getting inflation under control, is to look at longer-term interest rates that the Fed doesn't affect directly. If we get inflation under control, then it takes the pressure off the Fed. His team is laser focused on bringing down the 10-year Treasury yield, which could lower mortgage rates, business loans, and other borrowing costs without relying on the Fed. To make this happen, Scott introduced a 3-3-3 plan, cutting the federal deficit from 6% of the GDP to 3%, sustain economic growth at 3%, and boost oil production by 3 million barrels per day. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, is also playing a role with the task of eliminating wasteful government spending that fuels inflation and keeps Treasury yields high. So its success is a pretty big deal. Moving on. Grabbing a drink. More than luck. How the 100 million Trump meme coin whale got the inside scoop. Well, of course, it's more than luck. This is ridiculous, right? Insider trading, manipulation. This shit's nuts. But could be not that. It sounds like new evidence reveals how a notorious crypto trader found out President Trump's meme coin in the crucial hours before it was publicly announced. The identity of the suspiciously well-timed trader who turned $1 million worth of Solana into over $116 million by jumping on President Trump meme coin launch last month has been unmasked, and new details have surfaced as to how they were able to get in on the token so quickly. Hint, it wasn't luck. According to analysis by the on-chain research firm Bubble Maps, the trader in question has been identified as Nassim, a notorious pseudonymous crypto investor and hacker with a reputation in the Solana community for token sniping. In unearthing Nassim's identity, however, on-chain sleuths discovered an even more curious detail. More than 2 hours before Trump's publicly announced his meme coin, Nassim attempted to buy up a giant stash of the president's token at the correct contract address. How could that be possible? During any meme coin launch, let alone that of a US president, such signs can indicate the project was vulnerable to insider trading. If Nassim got a heads up about Trump's multi-billion-dollar token launch several hours before it went live, where did that information come from? The trader, when pressed on the issue by Bubble Maps, claimed that he had no advance warning from any of Trump's team, but instead manually discovered on-chain evidence that indicated the president was launching a token with the help of one of Solana's biggest decentralized exchanges. That alibi may actually check out. Bubble Maps researcher told Decrypt that Meteora, a Solana decentralized exchange that helped coordinate the Trump token launch, did use its admin account to interact with a pool designed to exchange Trump for USDC a full day before Trump announced the token publicly. So by doing so, the Meteora team, whether it intended to or not, implicitly gave a stamp of legitimacy to official Trump token that otherwise could have been made by any random crypto user. That crucial bit of information, however, was at the time an incredibly valuable needle hidden in a haystack of over 100 million seemingly ordinary transactions filtering through the Solana network. When Nassim attempted to scoop up Trump tokens hours before the president first announced its existence via Truth Social, the transaction failed because Trump USDC pool was not yet toggled active by its admins. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? So can the Bitcoin bull cycle, can it withstand a 30% price correction? I mean, didn't we, altcoins just had a correction of, what was it, 40-something%? Like, what was it, in like a 15-minute candle or something? Was that a couple weeks ago there? Week and a half ago? Like, come on. You're going to tell me that it can't withstand it? Of course it can. It's a healthy market when it pulls back, and it's a great time to load up your bags, folks. CryptoQuant CEO Ki Youngju says Bitcoin will not slide into a bear market this year, citing positive bull range. Youngju explains in a series of X posts that the bull market is still taking its course despite headwinds after posting data on the realized price for many investor categories, including old whales, new whales, minor balances, etc. He projected the bull run to take its course this year. Replying to an X user on the conditions if participants dumped 20% of holdings, he added that even a 30% dip from the all-time high would not trigger a bear market. Last month, the price soared past 109K, setting a 30% mark around 77K, citing past cycles. Look, let me know in the comments, what would you do if Bitcoin went down to 77K? Would you panic? and sell the dip, or would you buy the dip? You know, don't jeet trade, folks. Now, here's some awesome news. This is super exciting for the XRPL, and it should be front page news, but I bet you it's not. Brazza launches Brazilian real peg stablecoin on XRPL. Brazza, a financial technology group, has disclosed that it will release a new stablecoin associated with the Brazilian real and run it on the XRP ledger. The digital asset is likely to be out on the market by the first quarter of this year. Stablecoin would be a game changer for global financial markets. This stablecoin integrated with XRPL's blockchain will enable fast and inexpensive transactions that comply with Brazilian legislation. Brazil is among the leading countries most involved in the crypto market, with the central bank working to create digital real. DREX will be the ticker. The launch of a stablecoin on XRPL is part of a larger strategy to implement blockchain into the country's economy. XRPL has positioned itself as a key player in blockchain-based payments, as most of you know, attracting projects that prioritize efficiency and security. With its decentralized exchange and fast settlement capabilities, the network continues to gain traction in the financial sector. But there's a debate about XRPL's decentralization. The launch occurs at a time when issues concerning the decentralization of the XRPL are being debated. Some of the criticisms leveled included that Ripple needs to maintain and control the central processing network. Addressing these concerns, Ripple CTO David Schwartz explained that network has decentralized governance and that XRPL is not owned by Ripple. So keeping that in mind, it seems more decentralized for sure than less decentralized. I guess the way XRP works is also worth looking into, and how tokens are burned after they're released if they're not distributed. So definitely check that out. Maybe we'll cover it in the next news segment or whatever. We'll do a little deep dive on that or something. A little bit more news about the Brazil here. So super cool stuff happening here. Brazil approves world's first spot XRP ETF by Hashdex. Wow, this is two stories here. Brazil's on the map right now with crypto, huh? So Brazil's approval by Hashdex of the XRP ETF gives investors direct access to XRP through the B3 stock exchange, reflecting the country's progressive approach to cryptocurrency regulation. This landmark decision not only enhances XRP's market presence, but also positions Brazil as a leader in global crypto adoption. Hats off to Brazil. Good for you guys. Brazil's SEC approved the country's first XRP spot exchange traded fund on February 18th, making it the first of its kind globally, folks. That is so bullish. That is so bullish. There's so much FUD about XRP too that I see all the time. It's kind of ridiculous. Just do the research, look where things are happening, and make up your own decisions rather than just fudding stuff because you're a maxi of one or another coin or token. Anyway, the ETF was introduced by asset manager Hashdex and will allow investors to gain exposure to XRP, the native token of Ripple's blockchain, on Brazil's actual stock exchange, like the NYSE, folks. How cool is that? It's super exciting. And I mean, not that we're going to try and copy them in North America necessarily, but I mean, we got some stories talking about exactly kind of what's happening here in our countries rather than Brazil. So a Chainalysis report on October 9th revealed that Brazil's crypto users deposited approximately 90 billion in digital assets between July 2023 and June 2024, which is absolutely nuts. That's awesome. Stablecoins accounted for 59.8% of the volume. Bitcoin and Ether and altcoins making up the rest. Brazil's leading crypto adoption in the market is seeing increased interest in XRP ETFs. Is it ever? We're going to get into that here. Several asset managers, including SIBO, BZX, Rex, Osprey, Canary, 21 Shares, and Grayscale, have all filed for XRP-linked ETFs, further increasing optimism. We have an XRP section coming up, of course, folks, so we're definitely going to get into that. Of course, my highlighting's gone here. I think that's all I want to talk about on this one here. So the SEC has acknowledged the spot XRP ETF application. Bang, bang, bang. Let's go. The SEC's acknowledgement of Bitwise Spot XRP ETF proposal signifies a pivotal moment for integrating XRP into mainstream financial markets. The SEC's review process begins as Spot XRP ETF filings multiply. According to the February 18th filing, the SEC will now open a 21-day public comment period before deciding whether to approve, reject, or extend its review for up to 240 days. So they could just approve it now. It might not take 240 days. The proposal emphasizes XRP's role as fast, low-cost solution for cross-border transactions, distinguishing it from Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are widely considered stores of value. The acknowledgement follows recent similar filings from Grayscale and 21 Shares, while applications from Wisdom Tree and Canary Capital remain under review. With these additions, there are now 9 outstanding XRP ETF applications, including earlier submissions by CoinShares and ProShares. If approved, the ETF is again going to provide regulated investment access to XRP without requiring self-custody or knowledge of like cryptography, right? Mass adoption is just on the horizon, folks. It's super exciting. It's kind of scary. A lot of shit's going to change here. So Litecoin and XRP saw as ETF proposals enter SEC review process. So it wasn't just XRP, of course, right? There's also Litecoin, and I'm not sure if Dogecoin actually got in there, but people are talking about a Dogecoin ETF. The SEC has acknowledged CoinShares filings to list the XRP and Litecoin ETFs on NASDAQ, which is a crucial step in cryptocurrency regulation. The SEC will open a 21-day public comment period before deciding on the approval of these ETFs. And in the last 24 hours, XRP's up like 7-ish%, and Litecoin's up almost 11%. Litecoin's killing it, folks. XRP rallies 5% on ETF news. What's going on here? Well, XRP is rallying on the heels of the ETF developments and a social media post from Donald Trump, which sparked rumors about Ripple's potential involvement in crypto reserves. So that's some pretty exciting stuff there. Not a whole bunch more to talk about otherwise. Oh, you see that? It blocked me out even though I had it highlighted and ready for it. You see that, folks? That's messed up right there, you see? Let's try to reload and see what happens here. Oh yeah, alright. That's alright. So more good news with the XRPL, folks. So Ripple USD, the RLUSD volume, it's exploded by 33%, and here's the possible impact. A surge of up to 33% suggests that investors and traders are significantly engaging with the 2-month-old stablecoin, and for good reason. Tiny transactions are less common, while transfers worth over $100,000 keep getting more frequent, which is awesome. And the increasing adoption and growth of RLUSD could be good for XRP, however. Some in the community believe that Ripple stablecoin could out-compete XRP as a payment asset. I mean, I guess that is a possibility, but if it's a Ripple stablecoin and it's tied to RLUSD, then, that's always going to be tied to the US dollar, whereas say it decouples for some random reason, like, maybe war, as ludicrous as war might be, right? Yeah, right. It's on the nose. But anyways, maybe it's better because XRP has a value that's more defined by world markets rather than a one country stablecoin dollar. XRP doesn't have to be any specific price to be a currency to swap between other currencies, right? Because like if it only takes 2 or 3 seconds, it doesn't matter what the price is at that moment. So, a lot of those arguments go out the window there, and I think XRP is the better choice in all respects. The news of the surge in RLUSD trading volume has had no positive impact on the price of XRP. I guess that's debatable because, XRP's been going up pretty decent. Anyways, last month, Ripple partnered with Chainlink to integrate RLUSD stablecoin pricing data on-chain. Ultimately, this was all part of the San Francisco-based blockchain payment firm strategy to enhance the utility and adoption of the stablecoin. Around the same time, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson confirmed that their talks are underway with Ripple about integrating the company's newly launched stablecoin into the Cardano ecosystem. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Let's go. We've already had a call with the RLUSD people, he says. We're actively talking, suggesting the potential for a future collaboration. Now, a pundit who correctly predicted XRP's price crash to $2.50 says the demand zone will send it soaring. XRP's price trajectory has had ups and downs in the past 2 weeks, particularly the large part of the past 7 days was characterized by a notable decline from 2.8 to 2.5 before rebounding at this level. Thomas analysis highlighted $2.50 as a significant liquidity zone where XRP could establish support before continuing its uptrend. This level has acted as an imbalance in price action during the cycle and has often caused a reaction as traders step in to fill the gap. Demand zone to send the altcoin soaring. With the fair value gap showing signs of acting as strong support, crypto analyst Thomas believes the next critical step for XRP is breaking above a descending resistance trendline. The breakout point for this descending resistance trendline is around $2.65, and the path between $2.50 and $2.60 is the demand zone for opening long positions. If the XRP price can successfully retest and hold above the trend line, it will provide confirmation of the bullish momentum for a further upside move. Should this scenario play out, XRP's next target sits at $3, which is another key fair value gap. Thomas notes that reclaiming this level could trigger an extended rally with further upside potential beyond $3 depending on market conditions. Crypto quantum computing is on a collision course as Microsoft debuts a new chip. Microsoft has announced the debut of its new quantum computing chip, Majorana 1, after nearly 20 years of research. So this is pretty cool information here. Microsoft unveiled its first quantum computing chip on February 19th, joining a suite of other companies pursuing the technology that could one day threaten cryptos. Microsoft's Majorana 1 is built from a mix of semiconductors and superconductors and, according to the company, uses a matter that is different than the three commonly known of solid, gas, and liquid. According to Satya Nadella, chairman and CEO of Microsoft, this breakthrough will allow a quantum computer to be created in years rather than decades. Check this out, folks. This is mind-blowing here. Microsoft Executive Vice President Jason Zander noted that the theory first introduced in 1937 is now ready for practical use. It's taken us nearly 100 years to prove it. Now, we can harness it. I'm going to read this whole tweet here. A couple of reflections on the quantum computing breakthrough we just announced. Most of us grew up learning that there are three main types of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Today, that changed. After a nearly 20-year pursuit, we've created an entirely new state of matter, unlocked by a new class of materials, topoconductors, that enable a fundamental leap in computing. It powers Majorana 1, the first quantum processing unit built on a topological core. We believe this breakthrough will allow us to create a truly meaningful quantum computer not in decades, as some have predicted, but in years. Microsoft's findings were published in the academic journal Nature on February 19th. Nature publishes peer-reviewed research about science and technology. Some speculate that the new chip could eventually advance fields like chemistry and healthcare or be used to power data centers. Quantum chips process information differently than chips of normal computers, which use bits encoded as either a 0 or a 1. Quantum bits or qubits represent a 0 or a 1 or appear as both. This flexibility allows for qubits to consider different probabilities simultaneously, finding solutions to problems at a speed much faster than traditional computers. Microsoft began working on the project in the early 2000s, and it is considered the longest running research and development project within the company. That is absolutely bananas. Could quantum computing, such as the Majorana Chip 1, threaten crypto? Well, I mean, we'll get into this a little bit, but I just want to touch quickly about the quantum computing capabilities. Yes, it's going to threaten crypto in my opinion, but there is a huge margin of error. So just because you have however many qubits, the Google chip was 100 qubits or whatever, this one might be more or less, right? But you need like exponentially more qubits to account for the error checking that happens. So we're just not quite there yet. But then again, why is H-bar developing quantum resistant semiconductors to be able to hopefully stop quantum computing hacks, which is pretty nuts. Anyways, could it threaten crypto? Based on this article, quantum computing could pose a threat down the road. Google's Willow quantum chip generated some conversation in crypto circles after it was announced in December of 2024. A key concern is that a sufficiently advanced quantum computer would be able to break certain types of cryptography. Cryptography, that's hilarious. Affecting Bitcoin and other cryptos. For instance, someone could execute a 51% attack by mining Bitcoin with a quantum computer or guessing at an at-risk wallet's private key. And apparently, from my research and understanding, a quantum computer can only focus on one task at a time. So like if it's trying to break a wallet, my understanding is it can't be trying to break 2 wallets at the same time or 100. I'm sure it could be adapted to do so, but I don't have any evidence of that at the moment. The grand challenge for those working on Bitcoin cryptography is, how do you protect coins over decades or even centuries, given the mercurial nature of cryptographic security? That's a really good question, actually, because things change so freaking fast, it's kind of ridiculous. For crypto enthusiasts, there may be ways to protect tokens in the event of a quantum computer is developed. even if legacy coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum become threatened. Having a multi-sig wallet, moving crypto to offline storage, and even switching to a quantum computing resistant crypto wallet could help. So to touch on this too, there is a very simple way to protect your crypto in the event of a quantum computer hack on your wallet. All you have to do is, if you're using cold storage, send your crypto to that wallet and don't spend from that address, right? If you want to spend from that address for any reason, you're going to have to move your bigger bag to another new address on that wallet, or a different wallet seed if you choose. And then from there, don't spend it. Every time you spend it, it allows the quantum computer easier access to figure out the other end of the equation to be able to break the cryptography and enter access to your funds. Let's move on, because quantum storage in itself is not enough. I know some people talk about, like, you need like institutional storage, but if you do your cold storage correctly, there shouldn't be an attack vector for anybody to attack. I'm not sure that you need a special wallet that's quantum resistant, but again, things change fast, and in the future, that may be something that you just need. Just to touch on this a little bit, 10 stablecoin issuers approved under EU's MiCA. Tether's left out. Well, Tether is in hot water, folks. So we've been talking about it a little bit in the past. And I mean, if you've been watching what's going on, it's not looking super great for Tether. The EU continues to lead the world in regulations, but at the cost of economic growth, competitiveness, and tech innovation. 10 firms are currently approved to issue stablecoins in the European Union under the supranational organization's markets and crypto assets regulatory framework. The list includes Banking Circle, Stablecoin Issuers Circle, Crypto.com, Fiat Republic, Membrane Finance, Quantos Payments, Schumann Financial, Societe Generale, Stab IR or Stabler, and Stable Mint. The Circle executive added that these 10 service providers have issued 10 euro pegged stablecoins and 5 US dollar pegged stablecoins. Noticeably absent from the list was Tether. Is regulation crushing innovation in the European Union? Well, professor and market analyst Steve Hankey cited the EU's overregulation as the primary driver behind its lagging gross domestic product compared to the United States. Regulatory uncertainty in the neighboring UK, which left the EU in 2020, makes it unlikely that any crypto firms leaving the EU would choose the UK as the place to relocate, despite it being close by. Bitcoin news: will miners offloading over 2,000 Bitcoin dampen the price? In a recent Bitcoin news update, miners have offloaded over 2,000 Bitcoin. The market investigates the potential effect on Bitcoin price because of the recent movements. Current market sell-offs caused massive liquidations that wiped millions worth of value from the derivatives exchanges. Miners reduce reserves, raising market concerns. The movement of Bitcoin by miners indicates both profit distribution and security measures against market threats. Bitcoin news over time indicates price trends to react to historical miner sell-offs, and the reason is that major Bitcoin transfers into exchanges typically generate increased market selling conditions. Consequently, Bitcoin miner holdings have decreased to 1.8 million Bitcoin due to a declining trend in their Bitcoin reserves. Bitcoin price faces a critical point during its current test of the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level at 94,393. Historically, this support level serves as an effective defense barrier to stop price declines from continuing. So it's at the floor, is basically what they're saying. Moving on here. Coinbase launches CFTC-regulated Solana and Hedera futures contracts. Now again, we were just talking about HBAR, folks. As far as I know, it's the only company that is working on quantum-resistant semiconductors. And to me, that tells me that's a sign that they know something. That they know something that quantum computers or some form of AI is a lot closer to hacking wallets and cryptography than other people want to make you think. And that's for good reason. Again, this is a PvP sport. You think the institutions are going to tell you what they're doing ahead of time? You're their competition, right, folks? We are their competition. Coinbase has launched Solana and Hedera future contracts on its U.S. derivatives exchange regulated by the CFTC. By offering regulated futures contracts, Coinbase provides a structured environment for investors to engage with SOL and HBAR, potentially leading to increased liquidity and stability in the digital assets market. Solana futures contracts include standard offerings representing 100 SOL alongside Nano, contracts tailored for retail investors. So that's each representing 5 SOL. So this is why people get into crypto, because you can get into it without having to have like a huge amount of money. Like 5 SOL is, a lot for a lot of people to get into something. Whereas like you can start buying crypto for like, I think $20 Canadian minimum, which is like what, $5 US? Like it's a joke. Obviously it's not that bad, but it ain't good. But yeah, that's a lot. Like in 100 SOL, like damn, that's a whole lot for people. Like not a lot of people are gonna have that kind of money. So it's really not fair. When crypto is a lot more fair of a playing field, you don't need a lot to start, and you can turn a lot into a little, right? The launch of regulated futures markets for Solana is particularly seen as a crucial step towards the eventual introduction of a Solana exchange-traded fund in the United States. Futures markets provide a benchmark for measuring the performance of digital assets, which is essential for the approval and operation of spot ETFs. With at least 5 ETF issuers already having filed with the SEC for spot Solana ETFs, and Bloomberg Intelligence estimating a 70% approval probability, the futures contracts might pave the way for these financial products. And they're not talking about like the degen futures that you see, YouTubers promoting, right? Like, the 50, 100x, like stuff like that it's not normal, right? A lot of these are going to be like way lower leverage and with way more security on them. That's not to say they won't have higher leverage here and there in different markets, but I mean, Canada always gets screwed. So at this point, I think we're looking at like, I think it's 1.5 or 2.5 leverage is like the max that they can do for the new ones in Canada. And it's making it, again, another barrier for your average Joe to be able to access, and it's just not fair. Binance US restores US dollar transactions after 18-month suspension. Interesting here. The exchange cited regulatory clarity as the reason behind the move. I mean, Binance left Canada because Canada was like, no, we have to put in all these nanny state safeguards, and you can't do this and that. And Canada only has like what, 35, 40 million people. I don't even think we're at 40 million people yet. Maybe we are, but they don't want to piss around following all these extra regulations, costing everybody extra money and making it harder for them to do business when our country is so small population wise, right? But anyways, it's going to allow consumers to link bank accounts for deposits back to Binance, US that is, withdrawals and crypto purchases via ACH transfers. I'm not sure if that means ACH transfers has had some type of upgrade, and they're just saying it was because of regulatory. I'm not exactly sure what ACH transfers is, but it just, makes me think like, never believe everything you read on the internet, folks, right? But the rollout is expected to reach all eligible users in the coming days. The pause in USD transactions begin in mid-2023 after an SEC filed a lawsuit against Binance alleging regulatory violations and failure to register Binance US as an exchange. Legal battles escalated with further accusations against Binance and its founder, CZ, including claims of mishandling user funds. In November, Binance agreed to a historic $4.3 billion settlement over money laundering violations. Despite previous moves towards becoming a crypto-only exchange, Binance US is now restoring fiat services, signaling a shift in its operations amid ongoing regulatory challenges. So, I mean, maybe one day we'll see, Binance and KuCoin reintegrated into Canada once we get some common sense government in that's going to make better decisions. The US, y'all are killing it right now with the good government and, reasonable sticking to what he said he's going to do. He signed like a ton of executive orders the first week, and like, he cares about his people and he's doing what's right for the US. He's not trying to pander to other countries or other people's ideology. Not too much more to talk about here today, but definitely a few things left here. So, talking about Binance Nigeria sues Binance for $81.5 billion over alleged economic losses and tax evasion. The Federal Inland Revenue Service of Nigeria has filed suit against Binance concerning alleged economic losses and tax evasion. The Nigerian government claims that $79.5 billion will be for economic loss and $2 billion for income tax evasion in 2022 and 2023, for a total of $81.5 billion. Claim that is about $20 billion over Binance's valuation. FIRS is accusing Binance of operating in Nigeria without full approval and failing to comply with the country's tax laws. Binance is silent on the lawsuit against them. Binance has more than once expressed its readiness to work with the Nigerian authorities in determining any tax liabilities. However, they have not responded to a lawsuit brought against them. The suit follows several regulatory lines against the exchange in Nigeria. Recently, Nigerian authorities arrested 2 Binance top leaders during the crackdown on the crypto industry, and the leading exchange is also being charged with 4 counts of tax evasion in addition to civil penalty money laundering by Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, which the company denies. Is it anti-corruption or is it just the corruption agency? So Cardano has adopted a new constitution. Cardano has formally adopted its constitution, which is one step closer to providing decentralized governance. Always good to hear in the crypto industry for sure. The constitution formation process lasted 2 years and involved more than 1,800 participants from 50 countries. He acknowledged that the challenges when it came to the process, noting that many thought that it wouldn't happen. Although the Constitutional Committee's support was unanimous, it went beyond the 67% needed to legitimize a document. According to Hoskinson, Cardano is now unstoppable because it no longer depends on a central authority. From now on, Cardano will be governed by elected officials, which means Cardano is now a government. Pretty cool stuff there. Bullish, bullish, bullish for Cardano for sure. Cardano price to hit $20. Here's what you need to know. Despite the current marginal decline, the Cardano price is regaining momentum amid potential developments including ADA ETF approval and Microsoft partnership. Banging. While the Cardano price is hovered below the significant $1 level, analysts and traders remain optimistic that the token could retest its previous all-time high of $3. Many believe that a breakout above $1 could push ADA to new heights, hitting $3 and beyond. However, analyst SEBI has made an even more ambitious forecast, predicting a staggering 2,700% surge that would catapult Cardano to unprecedented levels. Citing 4 compelling reasons, one of the prominent factors pinpointed by SEBI was the potential interaction between Cardano and Bitcoin. In a groundbreaking revelation at the October 2024 Cardano Summit in Dubai, Cardano was unveiled as Bitcoin's upcoming DeFi layer, sending shockwaves to the Cardano community. SEBI believes that the development could significantly impact ADA, pushing its price to $20. Cardano ETF speculation sparked ADA rally. In a recent development, Grayscale Investments filed for a Cardano ETF with the NYSE, while asset managers complete to launch altcoins ETF tracking lists, or tracking assets, I should say, like XRP, ADA, Litecoin, and Sol. Grayscale's initiative may inspire others to follow. Microsoft partnership and Hoskinson's crypto advisory role fuel optimism. During a YouTube live on February 10th, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson revealed that the blockchain platform may enter into a strategic alliance with tech giant Microsoft. Moreover, the analyst highlighted that Hoskinson's crypto advisor role in the Trump administration could be another major catalyst for Cardano's price rally towards $20. All of this is super bullish for crypto, and especially when you're hearing, so many things like you got a price prediction, and I don't like to do predictions myself, right? But is Cardano going to go to $20? I have no idea, right? I don't have skin in the game personally, so it doesn't really affect me whether it does or doesn't. But whether it does or it doesn't, Cardano's a good project, and if he's involved with the government somehow, and Brad Garlinghouse is involved with the government somehow, right? Because they're both looking at taking some place in the government, some role here as advisors of some sort or another. That's only bullish for the whole market overall. I mean, it sucks, we don't want digital identity and all this other stuff, but at the same time, I mean, it's kind of happening. It's just going that way. I'm not trying to perpetuate it or agree with it, but crypto is going to be a net negative in that respect. One of the last things I want to talk about here today, which is kind of crazy, and it's kind of related to like how I said about the control just a second ago and how it's a net negative. Well, if this is true, and I mean, it appears to be, then I don't know. It's pretty fucked up here, folks. An anonymous individual burns millions of dollars to spread brain-computer weapon message. Someone just burnt and donated over 2,500 Ethereum, which is like $7 million. Attached to the transaction was the following message, translated into English. The CEOs of Kwande Investment, Feng Xin and Zhu Yuhuzi, used brain-computer weapons to persecute all company employees and former employees, and they even themselves were controlled. The person who burnt and donated millions of dollars goes by the name of Hu Lezi, according to the messages tied to the transaction. Hu Lezi, Allegedly, an ordinary programmer stated that they realized that they are being monitored by the Mind Control Organization and accused Xinfeng and Yuzi Zhu of using brain computer weapons to persecute all the company employees and former employees, and that even Xinfeng and Yuzi Zhu themselves were controlled. Hu Lezi then went on to explain the deployment of brain computer chips, claiming that this new mode of crime is at large and that once they become a victim, they will leave this world. The men accused of the persecution, Xinfeng and Zhu Yuzi, are part of the leadership team of Wizard Quant Capital Management, a hedge fund in China. On top of that, the following messages have been found on chain. So, I am Hu Lezi, an ordinary programmer and entrepreneur. Since October 2022, I realized that I have been monitored and manipulated by the Mind Control Organization since I was born. When I realized the existence of the Mind Control Organization, they also increased their harm to me. I have been very painful in the past 2 years. Now I have completely lost my dignity as a human being. I have decided to leave this world and hope that this ugly world will be destroyed soon. Brain computer chips have been deployed militarily on a large scale. All military powers are using base stations, radios, and nano brain computer chips to control all citizens. As the brain-computer interface and mind-reading technology keeps developing, there is a new mode of crime in which wild animals become puppets or complete slaves to the digital machine. There is a new mode of crime in which the victim is gradually deprived of his senses of desire until he becomes a complete slave to the digital machine, and if one day I become a victim of the final stage, I will leave the world, he says. That's all recorded on the blockchain through a series of transactions. That is there forever. I mean, that is super messed up. And there's a little bit more regarding this, just essentially some commentary on this before we get into one kind of funny post here before I end this off. So this user on Reddit says, this is some wild dystopian level stuff. The numbers alone are insane, burning $1.65 million and donating another $5.35 million, but the on-chain messages take it to another level. This isn't just a random whale playing games. This is a full-blown manifesto. Brain-computer interfaces, mind control, military-scale digital slavery. This guy truly believed he was living in a sci-fi horror movie. What's even crazier, he left all this on chain. This isn't just a Twitter thread that disappears. His words are now permanently recorded in blockchain history. Question is, was he just another paranoid tech genius losing his grip on reality? Or did he know something that the rest of us don't? Let me know in the comments what you think on that one, because that's a fucking wild ride. People are saying, what did he know? Like, no joke, you know, the rabbit hole for UFOs and UAPs is deeper than all the altcoin pumps we've seen. That's hilarious. Plot twist, it's the AI becoming self-aware through machine learning and decided it was best to use technology to control its own developers. So it used mind control on them and this guy escaped the grass and put it on chain through FBurn. There's some interesting theories. I think a lot of it is tongue-in-cheek, but definitely something that is pretty freaky, folks, and kind of sad if it's true, because apparently it sounds like he's going to leave this world, whatever that means. It doesn't sound good. Final story for tonight's episode, folks. I think you're going to like this one. This guy says, I'm done with crypto. I will never financially recover from this. And he's down to $28.93, down from $2,625,000. And then Buddy says, and this is some hilarious advice, folks. You're not done. You still have more to lose. You haven't reached rock bottom until you lose it all. So get back in there. And then the original poster says, that's the spirit. This other guy loses his shit laughing. Right? These $28.93 left. Go pitch that shit in the market again. Give her, right? And then the original poster a little lower down says, yo guys, I can't keep this shit up, or at least I don't wanna. I didn't lose shit. I bought a new coin with $1, and after 5 minutes it showed me this balance, which I found hilarious. So there you go, folks. That's your funny story for the day. We went through hacks, we went through scams. I do encourage you to check out www.quantzilla online. We have an awesome community. We have real-world tokenized assets. We have awesome NFTs. We are developing a game, and that is going to be in beta testing quite soon, actually. So we're pretty excited for that. We have a lot of stuff going on. We're bridged to BNB. We're bridged to Polygon. And you can actually find us on PancakeSwap at the moment. There's a whole bunch more going on in there. Join the community. Come have a good time with us. And y'all take care for now. I'm exhausted, and we're going to do this again as soon as possible. There's crazy news coming out almost every day. I'm trying to do it every second day. Tune in. Check us out on YouTube as well. There's a whole bunch more videos of some deep dives, some scam investigations. I did a whole bunch of crypto games content if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And what else can I tell you? There's an XEC deep dive on there. There's a Cardano Dex deep dive on there, which is pretty cool too. So definitely check some of that stuff out. We are going to be broadcasting more to X, and we are going to be doing spaces as regularly as possible. Our dev team for Qzilla is super small, so we are working hard and long hours, and we don't have enough arms essentially to flip all the damn switches that we have to flip. We do have an awesome community that helps us out and get some stuff done though, folks. So come be part of it. www.quantzilla.online. And for now, I hope you all have yourselves a great night. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a good ride. Hope you found this information useful. Leave the video a like, and we'll catch you all in the next one.